There she is, boys and girls. Ain't them good looking fried pies? Apple fried pies.
The preacher man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a going dry.
Welcome back to A Country Boy Can Cook. How about a fried pie this morning? Do you like fried pies? I joke around saying I've had a love affair with fried pies since I was about 2 or 3 years old. In the snow, Fort Knox, Kentucky. Maybe it's when I went in the service, I always wanted to go back to Fort Knox to do my training. I wanted to be a tanker. Anyway, I've loved fried pies. My favorite is apple, but apricot is hard to beat. And I'm going to show you how I make them the easy way. I don't have to make the dough for the crust. We're going to use flour tortillas. I did a little teaser the other day making fried pies using flour tortillas, and how I made the glue to stick the edible glue, I should say, to stick the tortilla to itself. So I'm going to give you the formula this morning. It's pretty complicated, but I get your pen and paper out. I bet you can get it done. And show you how I make these wonderful, wonderful fried pies. They go pretty quick. I've got a little bit of apple pie filling. That's Lucky Leaf. No, I'm sorry, that's Walmart. GV, great value. I don't know how many I'm gonna make. Let's see. There's 2 tortillas. I think there's enough for 4 anyway. That'll make this old dude happy if I can get 4 out of it. If I can get 5, maybe it's even better. And these are from just regular old flour tortillas. What do they call these? Fajita size. I'm not sure what all that means, but I guess you can get them to make fajitas with. What I do with my tie, making sure I don't cook it or eat it or something. Well, I'll find it here in a minute. So here's the mixture that I glue them together with. You see that glue in there? And I've got a little pastry brush to put it on with. I'm going to stir it up, make sure it's mixed up together. Get your pen and paper out so you can write this down. It's a pretty lengthy recipe how to make this glue. Take equal parts of just tap water. Just regular old water, not hot, not cold, just water. With equal parts of flour. Regular flour, all-purpose flour. I'm sure if you had any other type it might work, but I just use all-purpose flour and mix it together. Yeah, there's that heavy-duty recipe. I told you. Did you write that down? Equal parts of flour and water, all-purpose flour and water. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy. You just take and brushed the outside. I think you could just do it on half of it, but what the heck, I'm gonna do it all the way around. That's why I did it the other day. It worked great. The tortilla stays together, cooks together. I've got my apple pie filling. I've got a little bit of cinnamon and sugar in it. You want to be careful about not overfilling these. I try to keep everything on one side because it's going to fold over onto itself. These are pretty good sized chunks of apples, so and here's how I do mine. I pick it up and grab it on the corners. You see what I've been doing? You see what I'm doing? Grabbing it on the corners, encasing it. Believe it or not, I almost overfilled that. It didn't look like a lot of filling, but It was. And you just take and mash this down. And I just busted through there. It won't matter. I'll cook this on the top side. Anyway, I just go around the outside and crimp it. I'll show you the good and the bad and the ugly. Make sure you get all your glue up before you do your next one. The next one I won't put quite so much. I'm telling y'all to be careful about doing that. And what am I doing? I'm doing the same thing I'm telling you not to do. These are going to be cooked in the air fryer. You can use whatever filling you want in yours. Apple pie is my favorite. And when I get these in the air fryer here in a minute, I'll explain the story about me and my love affair with apple fried pies. See if I can do this a little better for you. I think this one did a little better. So you just go around the outside. These tortillas are cold. I just got them out of the fridge. You might have better luck if they're a little bit warm. They're a little easier to work with if they're warm, I know that. But it's about 5 a.m. right now. This is going to be my well, one of these is going to be my breakfast. You can see it does a lot better if you don't overfill it. Well, if that other one leaks that I overfilled, too bad. I'll just eat that for dinner. Just make sure it's all sealed. I don't have a lot of money in the glue. That's a 1/4 cup of flour and a 1/4 cup of water. And I did it like this the other day when I was trying this out, and it worked, so I'm going to continue. Get back over there. Yeah, that man messed up my... See, this fatty's giving me trouble all the way around. And I'll tell you, I'm gonna remove fatty residue here. and put down a little more glue back there. I just don't know if that would, I don't think that would help, having that sweet stuff on it. It might not hurt, but I don't know if it would help. Y'all let me know if you make fried pies, if you like fried pies. What's your favorite flavor? I like apple, and I love apricot. And I've got some apricot jam. I'm gonna make some, not on camera, but for myself with some apricot jam. Or actually it's apricot preserves. I've done that before with just regular pastry. It works fine. It's a company out of Texas that makes this apricot preserves. I love it, and I eat it on my biscuits. What is your favorite jelly or jam that you put on your biscuits? There is times that I just want grape jelly, and my cousin sends me some jelly from Mississippi. The Bayou girl, she sends me. It's called Supernal, I think. I think that's the name of it, Supernal, which is a like a wild grape, but it's been, you know, they grow it. Everybody grows it there, and oh my God, it's great. I think we did it. Let me check it. Let me check these others and see if they're glued together. I think they're okay. Yeah. Oh, I found it. Found it underneath one of my fried pies. I don't think that'd bake up good. I tell you. Yeah. It's a struggle for the old dude sometimes. I have essential trimmers. If you've never watched any of my videos and this is the first time and you see my fingers and they're kind of trembling sometimes, I don't have a lot of feeling in them. They're like dead to this touch sensation on the tips, and actually in this hand even worse. So I have essential trimmers, and I discovered that by watching a YouTube video, a guy that I watch. And so anyway, all right, so here's the next step. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way. What am I going to do with that? I'll put that on a biscuit. I'll put it on top of a fried pie or something. I take this butter flavor spray. You can use melted butter if you want to brush them on. Move the camera under so you can see what's going on. And I'm just going to take and lightly spray these, just a little bit over the top. This will help these things crisp up. Like I say, you can do better. You just want a nice even little coat. You see where my blowout was on this one here. Telling you not to add too much, and what am I doing? Adding too much. Like I say, just eat the evidence. Nobody will ever know. So I'm gonna flip it back because this is the side I started with. I'm gonna turn my air fryer on. I'm turning my air fryer on to air fry. Turn my temp. Sorry, I'm blocking you here. 350 degrees. Set my timer for 8 minutes or so. I'm going to preheat it, let it come to temp. Get this out of here before it gets too hot. I can't handle it. All right, air fryer's up to temp. I can get all these in here. I think I can. Put my blowout here in the center. Yeah, it's gonna leak, I know. Ain't no doubt about that. The last thing you want to do, take your sharp object. I'll just use my hunting knife here. Just poke you some holes in the top. 3 should do it. This one doesn't. It's already got a hole, but I'm going to do it anyway. These are vent holes. So when it builds up steam, that stuff's cooking on there. It won't have a blowout like I made. Alright, air fryer's rolling. I've got some cinnamon sugar that I use for my cinnamon toast and stuff. Once these come out, I'm gonna sprinkle them with a little bit of it while they're still a little bit sticky, you might say, so it sticks to it a lot. If you put them on prior, you will have it. That cinnamon and the sugar both will have a tendency to burn. It just looks bad. It tastes okay, but I'm gonna do it. I want, you know, you eat with your eyes. I want to make it look pretty for everybody. Sprinkle it after they come out. And right now, I'm gonna pour me a cup of coffee, boys and girls. I like this old thick coffee cup, my trucker cup as I call it. When my coffee's going, I pour hot water in it, in my coffee cup. That way the cup is pre-warmed. I know, I'm gonna do some strange things, but heck, my eyes are giving me trouble this morning. All right, me and fried pies and snow and Fort Knox, yeah. So let me take you back. The year was 1954. I think I was a couple of years old. I was either 2 or 3 years old. I don't remember too much about it, but I remember parts. We were going to Fort Knox out of Dallas, Texas. We were driving up there, and Dad's '88 Oldsmobile, and he loved that car, and he drove it fast, and it would run. And you see all the shows about '88. You know, it's true. So we get up there, and I think I lived through it. And I think we didn't have any seat belts. I don't think the dash was padded. You know, sometimes I'd get up the back window on the car, behind the back seat, a big old flat area there. Go to sleep up there. No big deal. So anyway, I remember we pulled off somewhere on the way up there. It was snowing like crazy. I think we were getting gas, and I don't know if my dad had ever been out of the state of Texas at that point. But we went inside. I remember saying, you want a fried pie? I think he was talking to my mother, and my mother said, yeah, I'll get us some. And I remember, it's so weird. I mean, I don't remember a lot of things about when I was real young, but I remember saying, what's a fried pie? Because evidently I like pie at that point. They said, we'll show you. So we got out in the car, and they broke out these fried pies, and they were apple. And of course they were fried, you know, traditional dough fried pies. And I had that. Oh my God. Yeah, they were probably a nickel a piece or 10 cents a piece. And I was like, I mean, I loved it. I fell in love with the fried pie, apple fried pie. And they said all the way to the rest of the trip up to Fort Knox. And we were going to Fort Knox to meet my dad's best friend. He was out. I think he was in one of his training sessions. I can't remember which one he was, but anyway, he was going to get about 3 days off, and they wanted to go see him. So we went to see James. That was my dad's best buddy. That was his running buddy. And went up there, and they said all the way up there after that, I wouldn't shut up about I wanted a fried pie. Let me check these right quick. Yeah, they're doing fine. The other day took about 7 minutes. And so on the way back, they stopped and got some more fried pies. I think they got enough to shut me up, I guess, all the way back to Texas. Now, we drove up there straight. There wasn't no spending. When my dad drove, there wasn't no spending the night. I mean, they made pallets in the back seat. You slept back there. You slept on the road. You wouldn't. Time to sleep is when you get back home. So anyway, I've always remembered that. And I always had a love affair for fried pies. And you can buy them now. I think Hostess makes them, the little ones that are in little packets, and they got all the sugar stuff on the outside. And the pastry's real thick on. Oh my God, I can't stand those things. I mean, I literally can't stand them. We got them, a local company. I mean, you know, they serve the whole Metroplex, Dallas, Fort Worth area. And it's Ma's pies, and they're thin crust like this, traditional. No icing or glaze on the outside. I like those. They've got every flavor in the world, from cheesecake to coconut. I had one of their coconut creams. It was pretty good, I had to admit. But their favorite they have is either peach or apricot. Let me look at these. Turn the light on so I can see it. I'll bring y'all a short sneak peek here. Oh, they're browning up pretty. I'm gonna let them go for about another minute. The air fryer's on them, so it circulates all the way around it. But I'm gonna flip them over anyway. Just that's what I did the other day, and I'm gonna continue to do it because that's what I did the other day. So anyway, yeah, my love of fried pies have been forever. I've baked them, I've fried them. Can't have a lot of them nowadays. I'm gonna make my wife some with. I think Lucky Leaf has a no sugar added one. She looked it up and said she would love to have those. That's her favorite to make a pie out of, or for me to make a pie out of her. So let me shut up for a minute and get some of my coffee here. Oh, that's good stuff. That's Bud now. Bud in the eye. All right, let me flip these over. My blowout there is not too bad. The rest of them are sticking together good though. I'm just going to cook them on this side just for a few minutes to get a little toasty. I want the crust to be toasty, crispy. I want the crust to be crispy, not toasty. Well, I guess it kind of is toasty. All right, back on the air fry. I'm going to turn the temp down to 325 for 5 minutes. We'll see what happens, and then we'll flip it back up. I'm going to flip. I never pay attention to these timers on these things. My timer's right here, so it could be messed up, but yeah, I just look. I look and I smell. I can be in my room and have a cake baking in here. It's ain't a big house, but you know, it's several feet. It's several feet back to my room, and I can smell it. I've got a timer set, but I'll always come up here, and wife will say, "That sure smells good." Yeah, it does. And I think it's ready. I mean, it just has that smell to it, and I'm used to it. I've baked so many cakes and pies in my life. So, anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the story about the fried pie. My love of fried pies. And if you like fried pies like I do, let me know. We've got a little trailer. A lady's got an Airstream, and she pulls it by a 64 Thunderbird. And the Airstream is painted pink, and it's got a window out the side, and she deep fries fried pies. She also makes some with avocado in it, guacamole, and puts a little spicy stuff in it. I'm going to try some meat pies the same way here. So, let me look at my pies here. All senses. I can tell they're getting a little crispy. So I'm going to use these tongs that God gave me. They work great for this. All right. I'm bumping mine up to 400 now for just a couple of minutes. They're cooked on the outside. They're a little crispy right now. Crunchy, crispy, toasted, whatever you want to call it. But I want a little bit more color on them, a little suntan. So I'll bring you back when these are about 3 or 4 minutes. Bring you back. We'll take a look at them. One more final step to do once we get them out. All right, the air fryer just went off. Let's get these out of here before my smoke alarm goes off. See Mr. Fatty there that blew out a little bit. Okay. There they are, boys and girls. Going to do one other thing. I'm going to gild the lily, as they say. I'm going to brush these with a little butter. This is real butter. I guess you could do it with margarine or whatever. I just never have any of that here in the house. You can hear how crispy it is. And make sure all this gets covered, because we're still not finished. We got to add some cinnamon and sugar to the top of these. Like I say, you can do this before you bake them. I just find it easier to do it like I did and use the spray. And I've checked, yeah, you can spray that and eat on it, no problem. Alright, let's see if I can get some sprinkles on here. And you could put powdered sugar. I'm not a fan of the powdered sugar. This is just my cinnamon mixture that I use if I'm making my cinnamon toast. There she is, boys and girls. Ain't them good looking fried pies? Apple fried pies. Even my blowout didn't look bad. My mistake. That's why I told you, don't overfill it. Don't do like the old dude did. I'm going to let these cool off a little bit, and I'm going to have a bite, and I'll bring you back when they've cooled off just a little bit under molten lava stage. I think they've cooled down to about halfway boiling anyway. So let's cut into these and see what they look like and attempt to get a hot bite of fried pie. I said I'm going to eat the evidence. Get this up here. You see the blowout wasn't too bad? You can see the flaky crust it makes. You can see the steam rolling off of it. It's thin crust, which that's what I like. You see Mr. Blowout didn't go too far. I don't know if you can see that smoking or not, but it's still plenty of warm, but I'm hard-headed and I'm going to try to get me a bite, at least a little bite. I need to grab the fire extinguisher, a big glass of milk to cool this down with. Oh goodness, that's great. Make you shiver all over. It's so good. That's burning. Oh man, it's really good. You got to try these, boys and girls. It's not too hot. I mean, it's a little warm, but my goodness, this is good. I appreciate y'all being here on my channel. Y'all give me the incentive to get up every day and go. I'm just an old dude, just an old country boy that loves to cook. I ain't never worked as a chef. I don't claim to be one. Somebody called me chef one time, and I said, are you talking to someone else? Because I ain't no chef. I'm just an old country boy that loves to cook. I've dealt with a lot of health issues for the last 3 years. 5 years ago, went into AFib. Found out I wasn't going to get that control. 3 months later, I fell and broke my arm out here in the flower bed and had to have a 3.5-hour surgery to put it back together. I think I've got you can see the scar from here to here. There's an erector set in there, wires and plates and stuff holding it together. And I'm now, I think I'll be 74 this year, 73 or 74. I don't even know how old I am. And 3 years ago, I had a heart event. I went into ventricular something. They call it VTAC. V as in THAC. And after your heart gets out of rhythm, doesn't talk to each other. It's a killer. I went into it driving to work. My wife and I drove to the hospital. Got to the hospital and I didn't know anything for about 3 weeks after that. I finally come around. And then they sent me to rehab. I couldn't walk. I was in a wheelchair. Yeah. I always think about, I came home in a wheelchair and now I'm walking slow, but I'm walking. I always think about that song, a country boy can survive. This old country boy has survived. I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow, but I ain't going down just laying down. I'm going down kicking. So I appreciate y'all being on my channel. It means a lot. If you first time here, subscribe if you want to hear the old dude's stories. And give me a like and hit that subscribe button so you get all my videos, don't miss anything. And please share this. If you've got somebody that's had troubles in their life and they're give out, they just don't want to try anymore, send them my video, say, hey, this old dude can do it, you can too. The old dude's out of here. Gonna eat me a fried pie. Yes, sir. And some black coffee.
I got a shotgun, a rifle, and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive.